If you're building a larger, more complex site in Framer, you might want to consider using a mega menu to break up your navigation bar. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to build one the easy way in Framer with zero code, fully responsive, and in no time at all. Let's go. Alright, so here we are inside of Framer, and I've already taken the first steps to actually build our navbar. But as you can tell, there's no mega menu just yet, which we're going to do in this video. Now, I've also gone ahead and made it responsive as well, and if you want to learn how to do that, I'll link to another tutorial here on my channel. So basically how this is set up is as a component, and then I'm going to design everything within my component here. So we have these navigation links in the middle, which I basically want to make it that when I hover or click on one of these, we kind of collapse to a more expandable menu. So what we're going to do is actually select one of our links here, which I've got set up as a component, but you can set this up however you want. And on the right hand properties panel, we're going to click on overlay. Now this is going to create a relative overlay. Now just this alone, let's preview this and see what happens. You will notice that when I now hover on my link here, it actually shows that overlay. And this is essentially the technique we're going to use to build some mega menus. So what I can actually start doing is designing for this. So I'm actually going to keep this relatively simple. We'll kind of build out our mega menu here. So let's actually go ahead and add a new frame, which will kind of be our link holder here. So we'll go link title. And let's size that down a fair bit. And let's also go ahead here and add a description for our link. Because essentially what I want to do, similar to how I've set up my navbar here, we want every link within my mega menu to also kind of act as a component. And you'll see why we do this for responsiveness shortly. But for now, let's just keep designing our mega menu here. So we'll actually set the width and the height of this to be auto, so it fits our content. And we'll set the alignment to be to the left, and we'll change the gap between here. And let's also make the text here a bit smaller, and we'll make the font weight bold. Okay, let's actually call this our link holder. And let's go ahead and remove the backgrounds. Now, I'm also thinking it might be nice to have a bit of an icon here, since you see that on a lot of mega menus, they really want to try to make the menu more visual, especially if you've got a lot of links. So to do that, I'm just going to draw a new frame inside my link holder here, and we'll drag and drop that in here. We're actually going to turn the direction now to be horizontal, and then we're going to take our two text layers here, and we're going to wrap them inside their own stack. Now we'll set the width of this stack to be auto, and then because this is wrapped inside its own stack, it means it can have its own layout rules. So we'll actually set the layout of this to be back to vertical, and then style it just like I had before. And now you notice we can kind of have a frame that kind of sits side by side. So we'll scale that up here, and let's actually give it a bit of a radius. So let's set it to be 8 pixels. And let's also give it a background color. Cool, and let's actually move this to the left-hand side, and let's increase the gap between our elements. Then I reckon the last thing that's probably missing is for us to actually be able to set an icon here. So I'll go ahead inside this frame, I'll set the layout to be centered, and we'll give that a purple color. Okay, this looks pretty good. Now what I'm gonna do is right click this, I'm gonna create it as a component, and I'm gonna call it my mega menu link. Now inside here, I can design this like any other component. So I essentially want to connect this so it can function as a link. So the first thing I'll do is actually create a link up here, and I'm going to create that as a variable so we can reuse this component multiple times without having the exact same link. Next, I'm actually going to update the text here to be a variable as well. So we'll set that to be called the title. We'll do the same for the description here. So we'll set one here and we'll call it description. And we also need to make it that I can set the icon as well. So we'll go icon. Now, maybe there's an instance where we don't actually want this component to actually show an icon at all. So what I can do is actually select that frame that's holding that icon and set a variable for the visibility. So we'll go icon question mark, and we'll set the description to be something like, do we want to show an icon? And we'll move that to the top. So now when I go back to my navbar here and open up my overlay, you notice we've got this nifty little component where we can actually go ahead, set the link, show whether to hide or show that icon or not. And now everything should work. Now, the only other thing I want to do here is add a bit of a hover state for, well, when you hover. So I'm actually going to go ahead and add some outer padding to this component. And we're actually going to add a hover state here. And we're going to make it that on hover, we're going to get a slight gray. And I also probably want to add a little bit of a radius here to kind of keep symmetrical with my brands. And I think that looks pretty good. Maybe on the right-hand side, it's a little bit close to the text here. So inside that text stack, I'm actually going to add some padding to the right-hand side. Okay, this looks pretty good so far. So now what we're actually going to do is we're going to go back into our overlay here, and we're going to create a new frame, which is going to hold that mega menu. So I'm going to draw a new frame here, and I'm actually going to set the width to be 100% and the height to be 100% as well. And inside the overlay frame, we're actually going to set the width and height to be auto. And essentially what we're doing here is we're creating a parent frame for our mega menu. So we'll actually call this our frame holder. Now I'm going to turn layout on, and again, I'm just going to style this however I want. So we'll set the background color to be white, and I'm going to set the distribute to be to the start. Now really all I need to do is actually design this to look how I want. So we'll go ahead here and we'll actually add a few different links. So let's say we've got 4 or 5. And what I might actually do is wrap these together. So we'll add these inside its own stack, and we'll set the width to be auto. Now I'm also thinking it might be nice to have a bit of a title for our mega menu as well. So it might be like discover all product features. And let's make this slightly bigger. Okay, cool. Let's actually add the gap here, and let's go ahead and add some padding. This is good. I'm also going to set the height of this to be auto. And since this is a mega menu, we might want to actually have a bit of a different layout rather than just stacking everything on top of each other. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to set the direction of both these stacks here. So we'll wrap them in their own frame, and we'll set that direction to be horizontal so they sit side by side. And we'll set the distribute to be to the start, and then we'll change the gap between. And then maybe on this side, there isn't as many links. And then let's set the alignment here as well. Okay, this is looking good. And then maybe we've got one extra type of link, which is a little bit different. So inside my mega menu links here, I could design for a completely different state. So we might want to redesign this a little bit where it's actually quite a big menu. So we'll actually resize this. We'll make it the 100% width. Actually, it could be a little bit more even. So we'll set the width of this to be auto. And then maybe this is actually a background image. So what we'll do is we'll set this to be an image, and then we can set that there like so. And then I'd say the padding here is still a little bit off, so we'll just kind of resize that. Okay, so now we kind of have like a small card, and then we also have a large card. So now what we can do is go back to our overlay here, and we can actually drag that in from our asset menu. And now we can select that to be a large card. Cool, we've got some overflow issues here, so let's make sure the width is set to auto, so it's automatically going to fit the content. Now we're actually starting to see a bit of a mega menu, which is really, really cool. Now I can go into each one of these components here since we've set it up like so, and I can actually go ahead and add all of my content. Now this is looking really good from a mega menu. Now we also want to make sure that we've got our positioning set correctly. So I want to pin it to the bottom of my selected frame here, and it's going to be Y, so vertically it's going to be 10 pixels underneath. So let's go back to our homepage and let's preview what this looks like. Go to product, and that looks pretty good to me. So this is kind of the bones of our mega menu, right? But as you could imagine, this isn't going to work when we get to responsiveness because it's kind of just a fixed sort of thing, and we can't actually design for a specific breakpoint within that overlay. But what we can actually do is a bit of component trickery to get around this. So inside our overlay here, since we've put everything in its own frame holder, we're actually going to right click this and we're going to create it as its own component. And we're going to call this our mega menu / which is going to create a folder, and then we'll call this our features. So now you'll notice this is called features, but inside my assets tab, we have a new folder called mega menu. Now this is the trick to designing responsive mega menus. We're essentially going to design a component variant for all of our breakpoints. So desktop, tablet, and mobile. Or in this case, we'll just go desktop and mobile. So we'll go ahead here and we'll rename this to be called our desktop, which is what's going to appear on desktop, right? And then we're also going to design one for mobile. So I'll call this mobile. And what we'll do is we'll actually change the width of this completely to actually be more responsive for a mobile device. So if we had the width of this to be, say, 390 pixels, or let's actually go a little bit less, let's go like 280. Now we can start to see that it's going to look really broken on mobile, right? So what I can actually do is just start to respond to this layout depending on the size of the mobile breakpoint. So we'll go ahead here and we'll change the gap. And we also need to set the text here to be 100% so it doesn't overflow. So now what we can actually do on our mobile open sort of breakpoint, which kind of has our hamburger menu, is we can actually grab that asset and we can make it that it opens when I actually click on this section here. So what I'll actually do is set the width of this to be 100%, and I'm going to create this as its own component as well. A lot of components today, I know. So I'm actually just going to drag this out for the moment, and we'll right click this and we'll create it as its own component, which we'll call our mega menu mobile holder. Now in here, we can actually design what that whole mega menu will look like on mobile specifically. Now, since I've set everything up as components, let's say I want to add a new link, update a link, change the design, whatever. Because it's set up as a component, it's automatically going to reflect on both my breakpoints. So now if we go back into our mobile holder component here, we can go ahead and add our features, and we'll set the width of this to be 100%. And then we'll change that variant to be mobile. So now what I can do is actually design different states for each one of these. So we'll actually go ahead and we'll call this our empty state. And then we'll design the state for when the product's open. So we'll actually go back in here and we'll drag and drop this. And we'll set the width to be 100%. And we'll change that variant to be mobile. And we'll call this product, and let's also make it that this is the selected state of that component, and we can keep going for each one of our mega menus, right? What I'm going to do is set up an interaction. So we're going to make it that when I click on product, it's then going to open this mega menu here within this variant. So we'll go to product, we'll go interaction, and we'll create a new transition. Now, what I'm actually going to do within my navigation component here is we're going to set an interaction. So we're going to add a new transition that on open, which is the name of the event within that component here, to go to product. So when we actually preview this, you notice when I click on product, it then will open that navigation, right? So let's actually preview this on the home page. So let's drag and drop our navigation bar back into our mobile open here. And then let's actually go ahead and preview this. So when I hover on my product here, you will notice it's actually showing that full mega menu. And then when I actually go ahead and make this responsive and click on my mega menu, or sorry, my hamburger menu, and select product, it's going to switch to that product variant. Now, obviously this is a little bit too big, so you might want to design for some responsiveness there. But as you can tell, it's actually relatively straightforward to build a mega menu in Framer. It requires a little bit of complexity in terms of how you're setting up your components. But if you realize you can actually use components as your breakpoints, you're actually going to save yourself a ton of time, especially if you want to change or update that content later on. And all I would be doing is replicating this process for every mega menu that you want to create within your navigation bar. I'll include a remix link down below just in case you're feeling a little bit stuck and actually want to dive deep into how this might work at scale. But if you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments below and I'll do my best to help. And if you enjoyed this video and you want more Framer content like this, consider subscribing to the channel because we're putting out new Framer content for free every single week here on YouTube. And if you want some extra Framer goodies like some courses and some plugins, head to insertframe.io because there's a ton of resources there. But until next time, I'll catch you later.